Charged Conversation. I'm Todd.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Katie.
And today we're going to be talking about Pitch Night in Louisville, where we had 5 artists share their presentation in 5 slides to 5 judges to win a $5,000 grant and the historic and well-trafficked venue at ArtPrize of Lions Square.
I was not at Pitch Night Louisville, but my colleague Katie was, so I'm going to let her talk with Todd about these presentations.
Get out of here, Kevin.
Bye.
It's just not enough room.
It's really not. It's true. It's not a metaphor.
Okay. There, gosh, so much more room in here. All right. So yes, so Kevin is our exhibitions director, Katie is our exhibitions manager, and she took the helm of the event in Louisville this year, this last, what was it, a Thursday that we did it?
Yes.
I think so. So we had, in Louisville, we had 5 artists present their proposals that were invited, 5 artists and arts collectives, and they were critiqued by 5 judges. Katie, who were the judges that were selected?
We were honored to have Chris Radke, Chris Reitz, Daniel Fallsgraf, Joey Yates, and Alice Gray Stites join us, all local arts professionals from that area.
Yep, and Alice is the her title. She's the chief curator and museum director of the 21C Museum Hotels, which are an amazing chain of hotels that really are. They put on an incredible contemporary art show.
Yes.
They have their own amazing art collection, and we were kind of geeking out just in that space.
The entire time, yep.
It was an amazing place to stay and do this event in. All right, so I think I have all the basics covered. So let's start with the first one. Andrea Alonso Salinas. She was actually unable to attend the event, so she had a colleague, Katia Canales, presented for her. And this one was the whole, remember that? Like,
Yeah.
it was, so Lions Square is a circular location, and they were going to apply, I think, a photographic print that would be to the main circle at the bottom of it to give it this idea of, like, you could stare into the universe, I think.
And possibly fall in.
Right. So let's hear a little bit from Katia.
The artwork will be like a big carpet where you can walk on top. The artwork will be placed in an open space. The whole vectors will be visible at night, so the illuminated grid will give you the sensation of depth.
So, what did you think?
It's an interesting concept. I am not sure how it actually play out and like how the illusion works, but it'd be interesting to see it happen.
I think it might have worked better at night because I think it was supposed to have some sort of
glow-in-the-dark.
reflective and
Yeah.
glow-in-the-dark properties to it. Our next artist, Cynthia Norton. So Cynthia, there's a few rough spots in the
Yeah, it's a
presentation
little rough.
tied to the playing of some music, some folk music that was going that I think made it a little bit harder for her to get her message out. But one was a giant hole, and this is a giant pine cone
Yep, so
that she wanted installed there.
pretty exciting.
So yeah, let's take a little bit of, we'll show a clip of Cynthia's presentation.
The work I'm proposing is called Simple Gifts. It is a sculpture with a sound element that visually resembles the shape of a large pine cone, and it will stand as a focal point of this small amphitheater. From the interior of this sculpture, a sound system will play the song Simple Gifts.
So Katie, why a giant pine cone?
Because she's looking at Furniture City and seeing how the furniture came in, how it was constructed, and so she also wanted to incorporate this musical element, which I'm not sure quite worked with it or I quite got, but
It seemed like it was a giant music playing pine cone that I don't know if people would have really gotten the additional layer of, referencing Furniture City and referencing, I think, the natural resources that are required to build that industry and the story of Grand Rapids. I think they might be a little just taken by a giant musical pine cone. The next one is similar. I think the next one was more successful in trying to create the same sort of statement and message. And the next artist was Valerie Fuchs Sullivan. And this one was she spoke very clearly to the fact that this installation is inspired by Grand Rapids as the furniture city, as one of the core industries of the town. And wanted to give an idea of a landscape of what Grand Rapids might have looked like before trees were cut down along the Grand River, before the logging took route. And so the concept of a giant, almost ancient ruin of a giant sequoia tree was going to be sitting at Lions Square. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
what I would like to create is a sequoia kind of scale ruin. And I too wanted to take the furniture and invite people to bring their old pieces of furniture and create this huge kind of ruin.
So an interesting component of it is her goal was to have people bring discarded wooden furniture
Yes.
to actually attach it to the structure. Does that make you a little nervous
It made me very nervous from an installation standpoint, but it also could have been really exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the sketches that she had, she like clearly was like a skilled drawer. Is that
Yes.
the proper term?
Illustrator.
Illustrator, that's better. A beautiful drawing. I think it would be kind of haunting and chilling if the installation looked like that, assuming people could connect it. But I thought it was interesting that she wanted a giant sequoia, and those trees are not native to Michigan.
No,
Which
should have been like a pine.
probably a large
Maybe a pine cone.
large pine. I know they're trying to plant them and get them here, but I think it was 25 million years ago was the last time there was a sequoia in Michigan.
Never forget.
Slightly predates the furniture industry, 25 million years, a little bit. Next up, Leticia Bahuyo. Her work often engages a metaphysical narrative by disrupting one's sense of scale. And I like to use the term, was it meta moment?
Yes, you
Yeah.
have a meta moment there.
Right, so that's like, working in comedy or script writing or, narrative, the idea of a meta moment. What does that actually mean?
Well, contemplating yourself and where you fit into space and time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, standing outside yourself, like kind of out-of-body experiences. So the gist of it was creating these infinite gazebos,
Yes.
like Russian
Never-ending
dolls.
gazebo.
Yeah, the never-ending gazebo. So a large one and then a little one that matched it, and then smaller and smaller and smaller
Yes.
to get you in a playful way to question your own existence in a meaningful way. Let's hear it in Leticia's words.
For ArtPrize, I propose to offer viewers a monumental meta moment. Like a play within a play, like Noises Off, or like Dwayne Michaels' photography, where there's a sequence of photographs. What is an infinite space? Where do you even exist? My sculpture here is a gazebo inside a gazebo inside a gazebo.
Yeah, so monumental meta moment. The bubblegum pink gazebos. I mean, what do you think is how are visitors gonna react to this?
I think it is a great ArtPrize piece because it's fun and exciting. It's bright. You're like, what is going on over here? And so it leads you in, and then you have this meta moment, which
Yeah.
goes deeper, so the viewer can really get into it,
What
understand.
do you think about the fact? So part of her presentation is that there's going to be a cart there selling the small versions of it. What is she trying to do with that?
Just talk about commerce and art market and how all that works.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that that's a kind of problematic in the contemporary art world.
Yes. So once again, candy-coated
Mm-hmm.
deep thoughts.
Candy-coated deep thoughts with Leticia Bahuyo. All right, and last, our fifth entry proposal is from Mary Carruthers and Sue Ribikin. So they researched Lion Square. I really loved this piece. The research they did is they uncovered, which is this folklore story about these arch rivals that were building our city and essentially created what do they call it, a spite fence.
Yes.
So Grand Rapids, and if you look on a map, you see half of it is designed on an angle that ends at Lion Square, another half of it is on a grid pattern. And Louis Campau and Lucius Lyon were vicious enemies. And so it's interesting that this artist discovered that story and wanted to create this collaborative wanted to create a piece that spoke to that.
Lion Square has a railing for which we propose the ship will appear to pass through. The materials we have chosen, mesh and translucent lightweight rods, allow the activation of elements such as wind, light, sound, and water. As these elements have the ability to pass through the piece itself, it symbolically ties together the dynamic flow of the public's movement in Lion Square, traversing nature and the urban environment.
So a shell of a ghost ship teetering on the edge of the railing there at Lion Square to help us understand longtime rivals and spite fences. Am I getting it right?
Yes, I think it's a really interesting visual. I'm not sure the excitement of that history and concept really follows through with the overall piece itself, but it would make an interesting visual.
All right, and so without further ado, the winner of Pitch Night Louisville was Letitia Bahuyo. So everyone in Grand Rapids coming to ArtPrize this year, you can expect to see the monumental meta moment of the bubblegum pink gazebos descending infinitely into smaller and smaller iterations of themselves. So that
And by your own.
and by your own, right? So that you can question and have a souvenir to show your friends that you did in question your own existence at ArtPrize. What are you excited about most for Letitia's piece coming?
I think it'll be fun and exciting. People really get into it. It's in a prominent location, so you can't really miss it. And then people will be buying these little gazebos. So
Yeah.
you're going to see those everywhere.
Yeah, and I think that, there's that piece of when people see, expert craft, and Letitia has a really great pedigree as an artist and clear skill in creating. She plays with this work and other things that she's done, and I think that she'll create a really, when you get to see like the small versions of it, you'll actually see some pretty sensational ability in her ability to create objects. That'll draw people in, kind of amaze people, but then hopefully people will have that idea of questioning their own existence through have their own meta moment at ArtPrize. Well, there you have it. That's the results from ArtPrize Pitch Night in Louisville. We'd like to thank our sponsors, 21C Museum Hotels and Delta Airlines, for making that happen. You can see Letitia's piece at Lion Square in the heart of downtown Grand Rapids during ArtPrize 8, which takes place September 21 through October 9, 2016. I think I thanked everybody that I need to. Yeah, I did. That's it. So that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching Critical Discourse.